It's time to head to Death Mountain, the home of the Gorons, and where the game's second spiritual stone can be found. To do that, we need to head back through Kakariko Village, the ancient home of the Sheikah, which is actually built at the foot of the Death Mountain Trail, which leads us up to this volcanic peak. Despite where Kakariko Village is found in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where it's in the southeast of Hyrule in the Necluda region, in Ocarina of Time, it's found in the northeast at the foot of Death Mountain. Although it was actually found in a similar place originally in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. During development, the Lost Woods and Kakariko Village were swapped, which is pretty interesting that it would have originally been found in a very similar place to where it is in Ocarina of Time. Let me just read the signs. They just say, okay, Kakariko Village, Death Mountain Trail starting point. Brilliant. Before I forget, I'm going to change off my wooden Deku shield and onto the metal Hylian shield. Because as you can imagine, Death Mountain, where the Gorons live, is quite a fiery place, and maybe bringing a shield made out of wood, out of the bark of the Deku tree, is not the best idea. But yeah, fantastic. Here's Kakariko Village, where we've done everything that we can do for the time being in Kakariko, although we're not completely done. As I've said in most episodes, you do end up returning to the same places in Ocarina of Time. Kakariko obviously being one of the most important places. But let's see what this sign says first, and then the guard. Death Mountain, no passage without a royal decree. Well, luckily we do have a royal decree. We've got Zelda's letter that she gave us in episode 2. The road is closed beyond this point. Can't you read the sign over there? Eh? Oh, I see. You're just a kid, and you can't read. You can't read yet. Ha ha ha. We can. Maybe if I talk to him again and anything else? No. Okay, same dialogue. But we'll show him Zelda's letter. Oh, this is surely Princess Zelda's handwriting. Well, let's see. Okay. This is Link. He is under my orders to save Hyrule. Wahahaha. What kind of funny game has our princess come up with now? Okay, alright. You can go now. Just be careful, Mr. Hero. Wahahaha. And with a tap of his spear, he opens the apparently automatic gates up to Death Mountain Trail. By the way, Mr. Hero, if you're going to climb Death Mountain, you should equip a proper shield. It's an active volcano after all. If you go back to Hyrule Castle Town Market, you should check out the bazaar. They sell the shield you need there. Tell them I sent you, and they should give you a special discount. If you think you're good to go already, don't worry about it. Now, I'd like to ask a favour of you. No, I don't expect you to do it just because of the great tip I just gave you. I'm just asking. Have you been to the Happy Mask Shop that just opened in the Hyrule Castle Town Market? Everyone is talking about it. My little boy pesters me for a popular mask, but I don't have time to go there. So, could you go and get the mask for me next time you're in the market? If you don't feel like it, that's okay, but, well, I have no choice. This is my job. Sigh. I think if we talk to him again, I wish I go to the mask... Oh, no, okay. I wish I could go to the mask shop in town to buy a present for my kid. Sigh. Okay, it doesn't do anything at the moment. But yeah, he's requesting that we get a special mask for him, which we will do at some point. And when we do that, there's a few other cool things we can do with this guard. But as for now, he's opened the way to Death Mountain Trail. Interesting, he talks about his kid. I'll get into that later on who his kid is. We kind of know a little bit about this guard and his family. But like I said, we'll cover that later. For now, we're heading away from Kakariko and up into Death Mountain Trail. So there's Death Mountain with its iconic ring of smoke. Again, not to keep talking about the other games in this series, but in Tears of the Kingdom specifically, it's very interesting because Breath of the Wild, of course, I hate tech ties in this game. Breath of the Wild's Death Mountain doesn't have this ring of smoke like it does in Ocarina of Time. It looks very different, actually. But then in Tears of the Kingdom, in the distant past that Zelda travels back to, Death Mountain does feature a ring of smoke. And considering that Ocarina of Time kind of tells a version of a story called The Imprisoning War, and Zelda travels back in Tears of the Kingdom to the time of an imprisoning war. You know, perhaps the similarities with Death Mountain are a callback to that. That they are kind of a retelling or reimagining of the events of Ocarina of Time. But anyway, let's talk to this Goron here. I mean, actually, yeah, this is the first Goron we've seen. And I was talking about the Tolkien influences in Ocarina of Time. We have the Kokiri living in the Kokiri Forest, which is very much like the Hobbits and the Shire. Obviously, you have men, the race of men, just Hylians. But then you also have the Gorons, who are very much very similar to the dwarves from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. You know, they live on the mountain. They're a mining people. They're quite strong and broad. But let's see what this Goron has to say. I am one of the Gorons, the stone-eating people who live on Death Mountain. Look at that huge boulder over there. It blocks the entrance to the Dodongo's Cavern, which was once a very important place for us Gorons. But one day, many Dodongos suddenly appeared inside the cavern. It became a very dangerous place. On top of that, a Gerudo in black armor used his magic to seal the entrance with that boulder. If you want to hear more Goron gossip, head up to our city. Goron City is just a little way up the trail. It won't take much longer to get there, even on foot. Anything else if we talk again? No. Goron City is just way up the trail. And this sign, I believe, just says, Dodongo's Cavern, don't enter without permission. So we learn a little bit more about what Ganondorf's been up to, just like he was trying to extort the Kokiri's emerald from the Great Deku Tree. He's also been here, he's also been tormenting the Gorons, a Gerudo man in black armour that can only be one man, and he's blocked off the Dodongo's Cavern and perhaps caused the emergence of many Dodongos inside it. Here's another Goron. They say that a beautiful fairy lives on top of Death Mountain. Don't you want to see her? Well, we'll see her perhaps later on. But for now, we can actually, if I put on my ocarina, we can actually see another beautiful fairy. You see there's these spots here. There's a few of these spots around the game where Navi turns green, kind of calling Link's attention to something. But it doesn't really seem like there's much we can do. I believe we actually can do something here. Let me try with Zelda's Lullaby. Let me try this and see if that does something. I know that I think the Song of Storms might be the right one here. Okay, it's the Song of Storms. We'll do this when we come back. But there's various spots where Navi turns green, and you can play certain Ocarina songs to spawn a special type of fairy. So I'll do that later on. But for now, let's head into Goron City, which is just down this way. Just as the cuckoo crows on a new day on Death Mountain Trail. Particularly strange ring of stones there. Maybe we'll be able to do something with that later. Land of the Gorons. Goron City. Here we go. Let's see the Goron's home. So here, carved into the heart of Death Mountain, is Goron City. What have you got to say? Oh, I'm so hungry. Everyone feels faint from hunger because of the food shortage in this town. We're in danger of extinction. It's all because we can't enter our quarry, the Dodongo's Cavern. We Gorons live on a diet of rocks, and the most delicious and nutritious rocks are found in the Dodongo's Cavern. But that seems like ancient history now. We've become such gourmets that we can't stand to eat rocks from anywhere else. Sigh, I want to eat the top sirloin rocks from the Dodongo's Cavern. So even all the way back in Ocarina of Time, the first appearance of the Gorons, they're still talking about rock sirloin, which obviously becomes a thing not only in Majora's Mask, but in the Wild era games as well. And yeah, Ganondorf's blocking of the Dodongo's Cavern has caused a famine in the Goron's home here. What have you got to say? Hey! It's dangerous for a little kid like you to come out here. You might fall down. If I'm not mistaken, you came out here to eat the red stone. Well, too bad. It's not here. What? That's not why you're here? You're looking for a spiritual stone? You must mean that delicious-looking red stone that was once displayed here. I was so hungry that I thought it would be okay to give it one tiny little lick. so I snuck out here. But it was already gone. I think Big Brother took it away. He always says that everyone is after that red stone. Big Brother has shut himself up in his room, saying, I will wait in here for the royal family's messenger. And here is, we can assume, where the Goron's spiritual stone was once displayed. Does Navi actually have something to say about that? She's turning green. There we go, yeah, it looks like something used to be set in this stand. So this was where the Goron's ruby, the spiritual stone of the Gorons, was once displayed. But Darunia, the chief of the Gorons, who they call Big Brother, has, well, perhaps with good reason, decided to keep it in his room. There's a few other things we can look around Dodongo's cavern, but as you can see, without bombs, we can't do anything. So it's probably best to just head down. We'll talk to any Gorons we see along the way, again, just because they're interesting. They give us little bits of lore about what's going on here. Let's not get crushed by this giant rolling Goron. Oh yeah, I can't even lift that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's head all the way down first before we do anything. Any other Gorons on this level? I think there is one in here. What have you got to say? Oh, we don't get many visitors way up here. Where are you from? The forest? What's a forest? Eh? It's where a lot of trees and plants grow. Now I'm even more confused. Nothing grows around here besides the bomb flowers. We don't have seeds or nuts around here either. Even Deku sticks are very scarce around here. I know a trick to conserve sticks. If you light a stick on fire, it will burn to ashes. Press A to put it away before it completely burns. By the way, I hid a stick somewhere. Yeah, he's talking about Deku sticks because we've got a classic Zelda puzzle here where there is unlit torches. And there's obviously the classic Zelda puzzle of lighting all the torches. What does this Goron say? Big Brother has shut himself up in his room, saying, I will wait in here for the royal family's messenger. So the same dialogue as the Goron up above. What does Navi say here? You're standing on a soft carpet for guests. It feels so plush under your feet. And here is the symbol of the Gorons, which is tattooed on every Goron here. On their shoulder here. Well, okay, he's gone into boulder mode. Which, yeah, it's kind of three triangles above a diamond. Looks like a footprint. You know, perhaps I think the easiest thing to assume is that it's a footprint of a Dodongo, given that that's so closely tied to Death Mountain, their home, you know, where they live. They're cave-dwelling people who they appear to be made out of rocks. They're kind of sentient rock people who then, yeah, like the Gorons have been saying, eat rocks themselves. But here, anyway, outside the big door, which we can't open, I don't even think we can interact with it, we need to prove we have a connection to the royal family. So obviously we do have Zelda's letter, but that's not really going to do much if we just show that to a door. So, like Impa said, the way to prove our connection to the royal family is to play Zelda's Lullaby. We open the big door. So in here, we meet Big Brother, Darunia, the chief of the Gorons, who stands in his room by himself. A little interesting detail about this room that's, you know, always stood out as strange is if we look up here, you might just about see it, depending on the brightness of your screen. There is a rectangular shaft up in the ceiling here, which it doesn't lead anywhere. There's no point in this. It's never used in the game. But we can assume from this that at some point in development, perhaps Link was meant to drop down into Darunia's room rather than going through the door, or maybe it was used later on in the game. But either way, interesting that it exists. What the heck? Who are you? When I heard the song of the royal family, I expected their messenger had arrived, but you're just a little kid. Has Darunia, the big boss of the Gorons, really lost so much status to be treated like this by his sworn brother, the king? Now I'm really angry. Get out of my face, now. Are you asking why I'm in such a bad mood right now? Ancient creatures have infested the Dodongo's cavern. We've had a poor harvest of our special crop, bomb flowers, starvation and hunger because of the rock shortage. But This is a Goron problem. We don't need any help from strangers. Have you got anything else to say? This is a Goron problem. We don't need any help from strangers. So, I don't really know what the clue is on what you're meant to do here, but he's obviously in such a terrible mood here. And there must be some sort of tell in the game, but it's one of those things with Ocarina of Time where it's a game I've played so much and for kind of my whole life that there's some things that, you know, I know that you're meant to do them, but I'm not really sure how the game explains that that's what you're meant to do. But luckily, we've learned Saria's song, so we can whip out our Ocarina and play, if I get the notes right, there you go, Saria's song, which is such a bop that it sets Darunia off. I can't blame the man either. He's got some moves. Oh! Oh, oh! Come on! Come on, come on, come on! Hot! What a hot beat! Whoa! Yeah! Yahoo! Hey, what a nice tune. Just like that, my depression is all gone. Something came over me. I just suddenly wanted to dance like crazy. I am Darunia. I'm the big boss of the Gorons. Was there something you wanted to ask me about? What? You want the Spiritual Stone of Fire, too? The Spiritual Stone of Fire, also known as the Goron's Ruby, is our race's hidden treasure. But hold on, I'm not going to give it to you that easily. If you want it so badly, why don't you go destroy the monsters inside of the Dodongo's cavern and prove you're a real man? That way, everybody will be happy again. If you do it, I will give you anything you want, even the Spiritual Stone. I have something for you. I'm not really giving you this in return for anything, but take it anyway. If you wear this, even a little fella like you can pick a bomb flower using A. And we get the crown, or what I always thought was a crown when I was a kid, but it's the Goron's bracelet, which gives us strength. And you can see it is actually added to Link's character model there on his left wrist, the Goron's bracelet. You got anything else to say? Destroy the monsters in the Dodongo's cavern and become a real man. Then we can talk about the Spiritual Stone. So from Darunia there, we did learn a few pieces of lore about the Gorons and about how they kind of interact with the other races of Hyrule. So while the Gerudo, who we visited last episode, while they are in a bad relationship with the royal family of Hyrule and the Hylians themselves, given that Ganondorf has just sworn fealty to kind of, mend a relationship. They're, remembered as desert thieves. The Gorons have a pretty good relationship with the Hylians. The king of Hyrule is Darunia's sworn brother. And from that, we can kind of infer that during the Hyrulean Civil War, the Gorons would have been on the side of the Hylians, on the side of the king of Hyrule. But let's see what this Goron has to say. I'm so hungry that I can't think of anything but food. Spiritual Stone? That red stone that was lighting up our city? Big brother Darunia took it away. Then he shut himself up in his room and won't come out. Since then, it feels like all the lights in the city have gone out. Everyone seems so depressed. I want you to bring fire from Big Brother's room back here. So I did wonder if this was the hint, if this is where we get the hint of why we should be playing Saria's song for Darunia, because here, if we bomb these rocks, just put that down and not bomb ourselves. So yeah, there we picked up a bomb flower, the Goron special prop, because of the Goron bracelet we've got. And you can hear the Song of the Lost Woods here, Saria's song. And this pops us out here in the Lost Woods, which we showed off last episode, was this door. So, the Lost Woods act as a shortcut around Hyrule. And although we couldn't access Goron City yet because we didn't have the Goron's bracelet, we can now travel between the Lost Woods and Goron City, which is a great shortcut. But yeah, that Goron was right, and I forgot. We should get out our Deku Sticks, which now we can hold 20, thanks to that business scrub, because there is a classic Zelda puzzle of a load of unlit torches kind of dotted around Goron City. So obviously, we need to bring the flame and light them. So there's these set of torches here surrounding this big, strange Goron vase thing. And I just love the way Link starts spinning as well. I'm sure it's like a camera thing, but I just like to imagine that he sees the Goron vase start spinning, so he decides to spin as well. But then there are also these torches up here. And we get the puzzle sound when we do these ones as well. So I think this does change his dialogue. Who wanted the fire from Big Brother's room? How was Big Brother? I see. By the way, do you know the music coming? Music coming from deep inside this tunnel. We all like this music. So this is how you get the hints of what you meant to do. But yeah, there is this now spinning Goron vase thing. And this is where we get one of the game's more annoying pieces of heart. Because it's timing based, but there is kind of a luck element. I'm sure this is far easier when you have the bomb bags. Rather than having to use bomb flowers. But yeah, we need to chuck a bomb into it. But it's not just that. We need it to be facing the right direction when the bomb explodes. So, okay, that went in, and then it blows up, and then it'll spin, and we need it to land on the happy face for it to give us a piece of heart. Come on. No, it's gone past it. We've got angry face and 3 green rupees. Okay, I think I'm going to throw a cut in here, just because this can get very long and very tedious. And I don't want you guys to sit through this forever, so I'll see you in a second. Here we go. I've got a good feeling about this one. Come on, one more. Yes! There we go. So it is completely worth it. It's very tedious, but it's definitely worth it, because we get a piece of heart. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is another thing that I think is kind of more intended for later on in the game, when you have the bomb bag, so you don't have to keep running back and forth from bomb flowers. But still, if we can do it at this point, why wouldn't we? You know, you can get an extra piece of heart before the dungeon. But other than that, there's a few other things we can do in Goron City before we head to Dodongo's Cavern, like in here. Into the Goron shop. Which there isn't much point in coming to at the moment. Let's just talk to a Goron. Welcome! Talk to the owner. Are you going to clear out the Dodongos? It's a Goron problem, though. You're a nosy little kid, aren't you? Well, of course we'll be happy if you fix it, so we can get all the bombs we want, like we used to. Just let me warn you, though. Dodongos are scary creatures. They'll eat anything. So watch yourself and don't get eaten. Notably, of course, this shop sells the Goron tunic, a tunic made by Gorons, adult size, protects you from heat damage, and also bombs. Yeah, but other than that, if we just go up to this second level, there's a couple other things I wanted to point out. Firstly, is these adorable little Goron cave paintings which decorate the walls in the Goron city. Some Gorons dancing there, which is just adorable. Over here, a red bird, so I'm not really sure what that is. Maybe a fire keese, or I suppose if you really want to get deep into theorizing, maybe a crimson loftwing. But let's not go there. And next to some more dancing Gorons, which is pretty cool. If we go up a level, there's a couple more characters we can speak to for some interesting dialogue. One of which is a little bit hard to reach, but still it's worth it. By this rolling Goron, this big Goron here rolling around, who we could talk to. We could bomb him with bomb flowers and stop him rolling, but there's not actually much point, because we can't get him to give us the reward that he'll eventually give us. To do that, you need to stop him with a bomb when he's in that tunnel over there, and I think that's what that sign over there says as well, and he'll give you a reward, which I think is an upgrade for the bomb bag. But while we're here, we might as well bomb all of these walls to try and head through and speak to a particularly interesting Goron. But another thing I wanted to point out really quick is these holes are all over Goron City. In the walls, you see some over there, there are 2 big ones there, over there as well. These are never really explained, like as far as I know, there's no line of dialogue or whatever that explains what these holes over Goron City are. The best explanation I've heard from kind of people online and fan theories is that these are where the Gorons have spawned from, given that they not only eat rocks, but they are kind of... Oh, that was the last one. They are kind of rock people. I wonder if that they kind of spawn from the walls and pop out and leave these kind of pock marks, these holes in the walls of Goron City from where they kind of crawled out. And this idea was kind of strengthened by Tears of the Kingdom, where we're shown for the first time the kind of creation of a Goron. And yeah, they kind of just pop into existence in caves, like they're little bits of the mountains themselves, which is really, really cool. But speaking of mountains, this is a huge Goron. Not the biggest we'll see in the game, but pretty big. This is Goron. And he's here in his little cave with a forge. What's he got in his pot? Yeah, blue rupee, love it. What's he got to say? I'm working on something really cool right now, but I think it's going to take a while. If you can wait 5 or 6 years, it should be ready, okay? So yeah, good that we've spoken to him, and it's good to keep that in mind, because yeah, when we come back, maybe we do come back 5 or 6 or perhaps 7 years later and see what he's been working on. But one more thing just before... Okay, I just really want to check this sign, because I'm pretty sure this just says, it gives a hint on what to do with this rolling Goron. If you can stop my wild rolling, you might get something great. Hot Rodder Goron. That's his name, Hot Rodder. But just quickly, before we go out and try and solve the Goron's plight, just want to point out this room here, which if you watched one of my, well, currently my latest video, but perhaps one of my latest videos by the time that this video drops, you'll recognize this. I pointed out this room because it's a really interesting use, and it's the only use of a fascinating Ocarina of Time mechanic. So for now we can't do anything here, but it's just worth remembering that in Goron City there's this lava-filled room with 2 Song of Time blocks in it. 2 blocks here that bear the markings that we'll see later on the Door of Time. So it's just worth remembering that, but we can't do anything with it for now. So I guess that's everything we need to do in Goron City for now. So let's head out to Dodongo's Cavern and try and solve their issues. Back onto the Death Mountain Trail, where on our right we should find a Goron and a sign. So what does the sign say first? Natural wonder, bomb flower, danger, do not uproot. And what does the Goron say? I'm standing here to shade the bomb flowers from the sun. Do you have a question for me? These plants growing over there are the bomb flowers. They are mining plants that grow only on this mountain. The flower's fruit is the raw material for bombs, but a non-Goron amateur should never pick the bomb flower's fruit. They usually grow only in dark places, so bomb flowers that grow in a place like this are extremely rare. Okay, awesome camera angle again. And we ask about Dodongo's Cavern. Did you see the cavern on your way here? That is the Dodongo's Cavern. Because the light inside is very dim, the bomb flowers, a plant unique to this mountain, grow like crazy in there. So just like the shopkeeper, he's explaining that Dodongo's Cavern is not useful only because of the rocks that grow in there being sirloin, and, you know, the Gorons, who are now gourmets, only like eating that. It's also the best place for growing bomb flowers, which we can use to blow up the entrance to Dodongo's Cavern. So Ganondorf didn't really think that through, blocking the entrance with a boulder, considering that the special crop of Death Mountain are these bomb flowers. But actually from here there's another cool thing we can do. You see down there on the right, just blocked by that fence now, but over there on the right there's a piece of heart. We're meant to get that later on in the game, but you can, I think you need to get this out of the way, you can just do a backflip from here and get up here, where we find another piece of heart, our 11th piece of heart, and a little bit like the one I got in Kakariko Village. This one was, we did get this a little bit out of sequence, but still, it's so easy to do, you might as well do it. I wonder if they'll do that in the remake. The intended way to do it is by using this soft soil, which I've been showing off, and I can do again here, is how you get some of the game's sculptures. By putting bugs in the soft soil to reveal a gold sculpture. But there's another mechanic with these, where we plant seeds to grow magical bean plants, which can kind of fly us around different areas. And that is the intended way to get up to that other piece of heart. But for now, we'll just use this to grab our gold sculpture I wonder what there is. There's 20 tokens in total. And we'll head down this dark corridor into the game's second dungeon, Dodongo's Cavern. And immediately we're met with an impassable wall. So we'll grab a bomb flower and blow through it to reveal the dungeon proper. I almost blew myself up there. Dodongo's Cavern. Yeah, one of the creepiest dungeons this early on in a Zelda game. Even the music. This was actually the end of the road for me when I was playing Ocarina of Time for the first time as a really young kid. This was just, you know, too scary. I couldn't do it, so this is where my journey ended. Looks like there are many lava pits around here, so watch your step. Thank you. But yeah, this is not only the source of the Gorons' food, like sirloin rocks, and where they grow the Goron special crop, bomb flowers, because of the dim lighting. It's also the home of Dodongos, especially in recent years. Dodongos have infested this place, or I suppose recent days, maybe months, we're not sure on the timing on that. They've infested this place. But also, if we look up, we can see not only this giant skull in front of us, which implies the existence of a huge Dodongo at some point in the past, but that the main chamber we're in is inside a rib cage of a absolutely mountain-sized Dodongo. I'm not sure why I'm getting any... Okay, there we go. I was wondering why I was getting enemy music and I was getting dive-bombed by Keese, who's now flown off. Yeah, but we're inside the rib cage of a deceased huge Dodongo, which we'll see some pretty big Dodongos as we play through this. Let's just get Navi to talk to that. Beamos, again, no lore on that, on what a Beamos is. But yeah, interesting design in Ocarina of Time, with that single eye on the top half, and then a nose and a mouth on the bottom half, if you can see. Kind of made out of, I assume, like clay or something like that. These kind of defensive golems. And if we get too close, like Navi says, there you go. They will laser me. Yeah, so one to avoid. But yeah, Dodongo's Cavern itself exists within what looks like the remains of a huge Dodongo, which is really cool. Have I made? Yeah, I've made that. But let's grab a bomb anyway, and we'll use it to blow up this wall. I actually can use it to blow up this Beamos over there, who can only be defeated with bombs at this stage. Let's not roll past the chest. Let's open it. Let's get another one of these classic chest cutscenes. And a pretty useful item, we'll get the dungeon map. Another little cool... blue chambers, thank you. Alright. Little cool detail about the dungeon map in this game. So, when there was a big leak of Ocarina of Time assets, you know, a few years ago, and one thing that showed off that was really cool is, if I find... Do I have the dungeon map? I think it's maybe promotional artwork then for the dungeon map. So not the in-game model that we saw there, but artwork that existed in guides and stuff for the dungeon map itself. And it was such high resolution because of this leak. I'll show off actually what this guy sells. That you could read what the Hylian text on it said. And it was a map, and it translates to different places around Nintendo, which is quite cool. Maybe I'll throw that up on the screen if I remember. So he sells Deku shields, which I don't need because I've already got a Deku shield. But yeah, we switched to our Hylian shield because this is made of wood and it can burn in here. So it is actually useful to have the Hylian shield at this stage, even though we can't really use it properly. But yeah, now we've got the dungeon map. There's not much else to do on this half of the dungeon. We need to hop back over. Maybe I'll kill this Beamos just to make things easier for myself. Have I timed that okay? Yeah, I'm all good. So just throw that at the Beamos. And there you go. They're not too difficult. Okay. Unless I forget that their head also explodes and take some damage from that. You can also make it around the edge of the lava here, and there's ladders on the side, so you don't have to use those platforms. But I'll grab... This is not worth bombing yet. I'll do that later. That's just a gossip stone in there. Although, saying that, there is actually something I wanted to show off with Gossip Stones, because, like I said in episode 1? No, episode 2, Gossip Stones at the moment, kind of useless, can't do anything with them, but they become really, really great later on. They become the game's best source, really, of little lore tidbits. But at the moment, until we have the Mask of Truth, we can't do that. So if we grab a bomb and we throw a bomb near the Gossip Stone, it will do this. Wait, does that maybe... Oh, there you go, right. I thought it had to be an actual bomb, but a bomb flower works. And it lifts off. And if that wasn't inside a little cavern with a cave ceiling above it, it would launch all the way up into the sky, which is really cool. And it's become like a recurring joke with Gossip Stones in Zelda games. So they appear like in games like Skyward Sword, for example, as well. And you can do all different tricks. So it's not just a bomb. There's various other items we can use to interact with them, which is quite cool. But in here we'll find a new enemy, what all the Gorons were warning us about. Baby Dodongos. Watch out for its leaping attack. It will explode after it's defeated. So yeah, these aren't proper Dodongos. I really need to change the Z targeting mode. But we want to lure actually this one over here. So there's a bombable wall here with no bomb flowers nearby. So we do want a Dodongo near us. Come on, Dodongo. Don't bury a okay. It's not the end of the world if we can't get this yet. Actually, I'm going to see if there's any hearts in here. I do have a fairy, so I'm not worried at all about dying. Okay, here we go. We'll just get them near the door, and we'll hit them. And in a second, they'll explode. And we got a heart for our trouble. Cool. Which opens this door, which, like I said, there's no point really in doing this yet. It's just as gold sculpture. We could obviously just come back later on when we have bombs and not have to faff around with the baby Dodongos. But still, why not do it this way if we can? Just take care of these keys first before we can get our prize. There we go. Get some extra stuff. And this is another one that we'll have to jump for. Number 21. All good. There are 3 gold sculptures in this dungeon, just like there were in the Great Deku Tree. So we'll make sure to grab all of those. Let's not get Dodongoed. Come on. No! I thought I'd made it, but I got hit. These aren't actually enemies. These are just little statues with, you see there's the Goron symbol on, I guess, their forehead, because there's 2 eyes either side of the Goron symbol, then a mouth with sharp teeth, and a little sword and a shield. So these are Armos statues. And if you've played basically any other Zelda game, these appear in tons, you'll know that they're not all inanimate statues. Some come to life, but these ones are. I think my favourite Armos, outside of the ones in the Wind Waker that you bomb and they go, oh, which are cool. Outside of those, I think my favourite ones are in the Minish Cap, just because there's the variants where you can go inside them with the when you turn Minish, which is just such a cool little twist on them. But anyway, we've headed into here, which is the mini-boss room. And we get these guys. We have Lizalfos. Again, no lore on these, but they're returning here, technically in the timeline from Skyward Sword. Even though, yeah, this is their first appearance in the series. But they don't really do much. We can just kind of... Okay, I missed a jump attack there. Let them hit us. I'm pressing the wrong button, that's why. We let them hit us, and then we can just jump attack them in return, and they'll run away. And you see there's 2 of them here who kind of... They often take it in turns, do they? Are they going to take it in turns? Are you going to come over? Yeah, you are. And another jump attack. Nice. And he'll run away. So yeah, not the toughest one. But also, if you'll notice, my health is slightly low. I've taken a heart and a half of damage. So, what better thing to do than to jump into a lava waterfall where we can find a secret recovery heart in this tiny little alcove. Why this is here, I don't know. It's such a bizarrely hidden single recovery heart. But yeah, it exists, which is cool. One more, perhaps, for this guy. There we go. That's him down. And one more Lizalfos. Let's go. Are you going to come to me, or do I have to come to you? I have to come to you. That's all right. Whoa, I let go too early there. Come on. Another hit. And that'll be him done. So yeah, not the most challenging boss battle. They kind of just wait for you to hit, but it was one that the developers enjoyed so much that they took this room. You see all these hexagonal platforms where we fight them, and doubled it. There's actually another area up above where we'll fight more of these enemies. And you know, they are cool for when this game came out, even though it is very much a you know, take a hit and then hit them back fight. You know, it's still cool. I still like them as a boss. Hopefully this isn't the door we came in through. I've kind of lost my bearings a bit. I don't think it is. No, it isn't. So it's a bombable wall here, which we will, I think, be able to... Yeah, we can blow up. But I think this one is pretty pointless. I think this one's just a business scrub, which I'll switch to my Deku Shield for. Because why not? Why not? Let's see what it is. I might be misremembering. Despite, again, how many times I've played this game, there's still little things that I forget all the time. Yeah, it is. It's a scrub. Bring it back. What are you selling? Deku sticks. Okay, now we're all good for our Deku sticks. Yikes, I'm going home then. And off he goes. We're all good on that. Nothing else in this room. Just cool little chamber. You see, like, all the walls have the same texture in here, or most of them, where it's this stone, but then you can see the wooden supports, which supports the idea that we were told earlier in the game that this is the Goron's quarry. So all of these tunnels, you can assume some were natural, kind of, you know, natural cave formations, especially with the, you know, how it's burrowed into Death Mountain. But a lot of these caves are man-made, or I guess Goron-made, where they were mining their special crop or mining for food. And it seems that they've used rib cages, like here are some ribs, we can assume from giant Dodongos, as supports, you know, built by the ancient Gorons, which is really cool. But in here, we get our first look at proper Dodongos. Watch out for its fiery breath. So these aren't babies. These are real big Dodongos. And I realise I've got my my non-Hylian shield on now, but that's alright. Here, you can only hit these guys on the tail. Everything else is invincible. But they're not too difficult, because they do a really slow fire attack, so you can just slowly go round and do that. But then they do blow up, like their baby variants. Massive explosion, which I don't know if there's some I'm gonna actually switch onto my Hylian shield before I forget. I don't know if there's some connection between Dodongos and the special crop of the Gorons being the bomb flowers, which we know that bomb flower fruits are the main ingredients in bombs themselves, and the fact that the Dodongos who are found here also explode, you know, doesn't seem like a coincidence. Maybe there's just something that they all eat. There's some sort of explosive material. That's 2 down. We'll get that. And why not? We'll kill the last one as well. He's up there. So wait for him to do his breath attack. I think maybe I could have been doing this faster if I was jump attacking, but it's not the end of the world. Jump attacking does, yeah, there you go, does twice the damage of normal sword swings. Not get hit by the explosion. Okay, and then, see what's in that pot. Just a green rupee. So we've got a locked door here, but again, there's unlit torches, so not too difficult to work out what we have to do here. Let's whack on our Deku sticks. Put them on C right. And here we go. I promise I won't say this all the time throughout this video, but imagine Dodongo's Cavern on the Switch 2 in the remake. Just think of what that'll look like. I cannot wait to see more, because I'm recording a lot of these kind of up, you know, together, and then I'll be just uploading them kind of as I go. But we've only seen, as of time of recording, that one shot of Link in the Kakiri Forest at night, you know, sleeping in his bed, having the nightmares. We don't know anything else about what this game looks like. It's such a mystery, and I just cannot wait for like the full blowout reveal, and obviously then just, you know, having the game in my hands to play for myself and seeing places like this that, you know, obviously we have seen it redesigned, I guess, or reimagined in the 3DS version of the game, but still, yeah, I can't wait for that. So in this room we've got a load of Goron special crop of bomb flowers and some gigantic... Oh, I was going to say stairs, but we can't see the stairs yet, so that's fine. But we'll use this crop, this Goron bomb, to blow up this wall. And I'm actually going to put on my Deku... Yeah, I've got my Deku nuts on. I'm just going to make sure I know what C button they're on. They're on C right, because in the next room, we get the enemy I was talking about a little while ago. Armos. Are they called Armos Knights, or still just Armos? So if we go near these guys, they come to life. Okay, Navi says, just armor, stop its movement and then destroy it. So we need to just get away, but we can. Deku Nut to stun, and then one jump attack will damage it enough that it dies. And then the rest of... I think these guys are... I think they're inanimate ones, but I'll try. I'll see if they turn on. I don't think these ones are alive. I think that was just one of them. But in here, we get the compass. Now you can see the locations of many hidden things in the dungeon. So I don't think I showed this off in the Great Deku Tree. But yeah, dungeon map obviously just shows us the full map of the dungeon. Blue being rooms we've visited. And the compass adds these chests. You can see the chest icons there. And also the skull for the boss. Just so we kind of... no, I'm good for saving. Just so we know we can get our bearings. And they don't do anything. And there's nothing else in here, again. Just more of these little chambers. And let's head out through here. So, here, we need to throw a precise bomb, which is something I'm never very good at. So you want to drop it right in the middle here, so that it blows up evenly. What does Navi say? Oh. That should be it. Perfect. And these big stairs, I guess we can assume these are Goron-sized stairs, drop down and allow us to reach the higher floor of the dungeon. Cool cutscene there. Because, yeah, Child Link has to climb up like this, which is pretty funny. I think there is a faster way to do it. You can, like, backflip up the stairs, not side hop off the stairs. But, yeah. We can hear a gold skulltula crawling around all the way up here. But that's not something we can do yet. There's a little bit of backtracking in this game, but let's see if we can get a heart. But never something that I find too difficult. We go, ooh, a 20 as well. That was a good pot to break. But we can actually get the one that's here. So there's one over Skull Walltula. Oh, no, that's the Skull Walltula. Not a normal Skulltula, a Skull Walltula. But there is a gold Skulltula there, next to it. But the other one we could hear is all the way over there, just in that little kind of alcove, which we can't get to yet. We need an item to get that for us. Let's whack on this. Okay, I need to stop, pause. I was trying to pause to get out of the first-person camera. I forgot what button it was to get out of that. Let's kill that, and we can just climb up this. Which I wonder if the Skull Walltula next to that was just kind of a reminder, like, hey, you can climb on this, in case people got that Skulltula and then didn't know how to get up there. Assumed it was one that they had to come back for, but either way. Let's head through this door. Into this room, so a bit more of a boss room here. We've got some various different things in here. Let's keep, let's put those on C left, and let's keep our slingshot on, because we've got these. We've got Fire Keese, who we got dive bombed by earlier. We can just hit. I'll get Navi to tell us what this one is, if I can do it before it attacks me. Yeah, Fire Keese. Destroy it before it flies into you. If you don't, its flames will burn up your Deku shield. Well, luckily, we don't have the Deku shield. Grab that. There are bomb flowers here. Are they useful for Armos? They probably are. Oh, okay. That just starts it doing that. But it's still alive, so I'm going to make sure I've got that on. Let's do that. Like that. Okay, so I guess they just... I don't know, just... I wonder if they can damage them. I bet they probably can, but we don't need to. We can Deku Nut, jump attack, and then hide in our little tortoise mode so we don't get hit by this. And then one more. Or two more. Oh no, that's one we push, and this is one that's alive. Yeah. But yeah, this is actually somewhere where Deku Nuts are useful. Which is, yeah, more than you'd think. They are actually quite a useful item throughout the game. And this one we can move. When you're not accidentally doing, you know, throwing them in inappropriate moments like I've been doing. Also, this one is just a weird thing that there's a ladder, obviously, to get up to that switch, but it's actually two ladders. I've kind of accidentally pasted a ladder on top of another ladder, which, you know, not really important, but just, you know, worth pointing out. Why not? Just look at the ceiling in here. It's cool. So I wonder what that's meant to be. This kind of star-shaped thing on the roof. It's cool. I think it was this one, because it had the stone thing. I lost my bearings again there. Yeah, but we can go through here in this tunnel. some fire keys, and these are the ones that were attacking me when I first came into the dungeon. They were all the way up here, and they aggroed on me. That was cutting it finally. Some grass here to replenish my heart. Nice. Oh, let's go. This one's far away, so I probably won't be able to target it, but I'm going to go for the ultimate sniper shot. That was a miss. Ultimate sniper shot. Ultimate sniper shot. Ultimate sniper. There we go. Ah, just too good. So hop over the gap. That's quite cool. Like, you know, I always like it where you can kind of see a pathway immediately as soon as you enter a place, but you don't actually access it till later on. Just kind of tickles the brain in a little way. We'll head through here into this room. We've got a ladder. This is a spike trap room down here. I don't think we can see target these guys, but they are technically enemies, and yeah, they're called spike traps, so they're ones to avoid. You never know what will be around the corner in these narrow paths. Use Z targeting to always look in the proper direction. This is a useful technique, isn't it? Yes, it is. Thank you, Navi. But if we're, you know, if we're careful about how we move, we should be good. And there's not one here. There's just a Gerudo block, which we can pull out of the way. If we hop over this Gerudo block, it opens up this tiny little alcove in here. We can get a piece of heart. Piece of heart, I wish. Recovery heart. But also we can use this to not jump off like that. We can use this to hop up here. Where we've got a little chest, which we'll kick open for 20 smackers. And we've got the bomb flowers here. So we can hold and time it to throw that. Or you can... Yeah, there you go. You can throw it to land it on the ledge. Or, you know, probably easier option is just to hold it until it goes off. I think there's another... Is that another duplicated ladder? No, that one looks good. That's all good. I'll give them a pass for that one. But let's move this block back just so we can climb up on that ladder. Let's not climb up on it. Now we can climb up on it. So up we go. And up the ladder. Nice, we're making progress now. Into the darkness. Another classic Zelda puzzle here. I actually think we did one of these in the Deku Tree. But there's an eye looking at us. Shoot the eye. Hop across. Again, more of these. I think, you know, I think it's cool to assume they're Dodongo ribs. They're not as explicit, like these ones here. Not as explicitly Dodongo ribs as the ones that we saw in the... Did I kill that by rolling? Interesting. As the one in the main chamber. But still, I like the idea that this is, you know, a Goron quarry that they've mined out. So there's like packed stone walls. And then that they've used Dodongo's ribs for the support beams, which is really cool. But yeah, here's what I was talking about. The second Lizalfos fight up here. So again, like before, we just wait for you to hit me. Jump attack. Hit me, jump attack, and you'll run away. Yeah, and now we go find your friend over here. Come to me, or I'll come to you. Nice. There are also recovery hearts out here. I'll grab one because we're half a heart down. It's cool, you get this like layer of fog. And you can see the previous Lizalfos battle room just below you. Although there's... Oh, okay, I've never seen one come out here before. There we go. I've got a green rupee for it. No secret recovery hearts up here, though. They're all quite obvious. Coming out. One. There we go. Nice. Which opens our way forward. Again, we have really cool atmosphere with this layer of smoke or fog up here. A kind of lava crackling below us. And what's through here? Another one. Another of the same puzzle. Although this one's slightly... There's like a slight addition to the puzzle here. So we have to hit this eye. Which... Does it start a timer? No, it doesn't start a timer. But then we have to go hit another eye here. To open the way forward. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. But again, this is still the game's second dungeon. It's still kind of showing off new mechanics and kind of not talking things through, but kind of letting us explore the basic mechanics of the game before the adult half really kind of stacks mechanics upon each other. I've always found Ocarina of Time's difficulty curve is quite good. And here we go, the bomb bag. This bomb-holding bag is made from a Dodongo's stomach. 20 bombs inside. So yeah, it's a little bit of lore that I don't think we needed on what the bomb bag is actually made of, which is a Dodongo's stomach. But now, yeah, we have bombs as items, so we don't need to faff around with bomb flowers anymore. Is that going to make it? Just because I can't actually remember what's through here. I think we do need to go down there. But once we go down, it's just a little bit of a trek to get back up. Maybe do we go through here first and then come back? Perhaps we do that. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, now that's much easier to get back here. Okay, so I will go back there in a second. Or will I just do this first? But either way, first let's read this. Okay, not hop on it. Or do that. Okay, that was just... luckily, we've got our way back up, because that was a masterclass in what not to do. Also, you can see kind of the lava goes under there, which I don't think I've ever noticed before. That's interesting. Yeah, let's hop back up here. But what I wanted to show off about that was that if you've played... okay, right, I need to go up. If you've played Super Mario 64, that texture on that plaque that I failed to read will actually be pretty familiar to you. And I'd like to show it off now, but I've kind of flubbed this a little bit. Wait for this to come down, and now we hop on. Nice, we've got a little shortcut. Also, this dungeon is very similar in a lot of ways to the Wind Waker's Dragon Roost Cavern. Oh, thanks, Davy. Didn't know that. Especially in the music, but also just in its general kind of design. But yeah, if you played Super Mario 64, this is actually a reused asset from the L is Real 2401 or Eternal Star plaque found in the courtyard. But in this game, it doesn't read that. It reads, Giant Dead Dodongo. When it sees red, a new way to go will be open. Giving us a clue on what to do here. Let's not get got by that. Let's whack on our slingshot. Oh, that would have been my Deku Shield gone. That was a close call. Let's go back through here. And I'm going to bomb that, because I can't actually remember what's through there. Can we get up here first? Yeah, we can. Maybe there's some hearts in here. Nice. So I think the way the hearts work is that if you are on less than full hearts, you can spawn hearts. Also a weird stretched texture here. You can spawn hearts from things like enemies and pots and whatever. But if you aren't on, if you're already on full hearts, they'll be rupees instead. So there's kind of a different mechanics based on your health. Okay, there's scrubs in here, so probably not useful. But let me just see what they sell, because I can't remember. Oh. Okay, what have you got? Deku Nuts. To be fair, I'm actually running low on Deku Nuts, so why not? And over here, what have you got? Is it Deku Stick? Oh, Deku Seeds. I think I'm all good on those. Okay, so there wasn't much point in doing that, but we want to explore everywhere we can. So let's head back through here. So yeah, there isn't an easy way back up to where I just came from. So it's good that we've opened that shortcut. I think the only way to go now is to hop back and go through the spike trap room, not get hit by the spike traps. That'd be good. And up here. So it's not a huge trek back to the main room where we've got that shortcut up to the big Dodongo. So like I just run through here. And if we jump down and not hit the lava, we can do a roll to break our fall. And before that goes up, can we get on it? We can. Oh, maybe it only... Does it interact with us? Does it only move when we stand on it? Or is it on a timer? I'm not too sure. Okay, now we can do what that hint told us to do. So it said, Giant Dead Dodongo. Proving that this is a Giant Dead Dodongo and not some sort of like carving or sculpture or something. When it sees red, a new way to go will be open. So the clue there is to... I don't think... Oh, I did get it. Is to drop bombs in its eyes to make it see red. So we drop the other one here. And... Bam. Giant Red Dodongo sees red. And it opens the way forward. But first we've got this way to go, which we couldn't do earlier. Again, we'll use our handy bomb bag to blow through. And we get a little chest with a blue rupee. Always important. You've got to do it. Absolutely massive for the run. Let's hop down here. That was very close. Not get B-most. And then you can head through into the final section of the dungeon where the boss lies. So more fire keys. So I'll make sure I've got this on. Again, I'm just going to pause and make sure I know what C button it's on. Otherwise it gets a little bit annoying. Do I have to do pro shots 9000? No, he's dive bombing me. Still, we're all good. There's another one somewhere. Yeah, he's dive bombing me as well. All good. Nothing in the grass because I don't need to replenish my hearts. There's something down here, which is a little switch, which we can press ourselves, and it'll open that. But if we get off it, it's one of those. It needs constant pressure. And up here is a block, but we can't yet reach it. So we need to loop around and find a way to push that block down so we can keep that switch depressed. More of this cool kind of quarry-like tunnels, which are awesome. You looked onto me? You have, yeah. Okay, I did have my Deku Shield on. Brilliant. Alright, so I can actually show off buying one from that business scrub. That's alright. No worries there. And we're going for the pro shot. We're going for the pro shot. We're going for the pro shot. 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 Told you. There we go. So I'm going to put my Hylian shield on, because I completely forgot I had my Deku shield on. And we'll head through here. So more of these Gerudo blocks. Up we go. So you can use these, push these obviously, but you can also climb on them. And we need to hop over this way, just so we can push this back. Just so then we can hop up to this area again. So we can hop down here and bomb this wall, but we can also just hop back up. Is that going to bounce back? No, it's all good. And there's an empty door. Don't know what that means. There's another metal door in here with a single Armos with our final Skulltula for now, although we will come back later on. So I'm going to pull out my Deku nuts, which we... Did I buy more? That doesn't... Maybe it only sold me 5. So we go close to him, activate him. Or do we have to hit him? Yeah. We'll Deku nut him, and jump attack, and we're all good. Or maybe his explosion will kill the Skulltula, that'd be cool. No, it didn't. And we got bombs for it, nice. Cool, so that's our third Skulltula. Again, we'll have to come back later for the additional ones, but all good. Making progress, almost a quarter of the way through the game's gold Skulltulas, which is very cool. And apparently the room's reset, so there was no point in doing that shortcut, so that's good. And we're getting a fire keist. I've lost track of where the other one is. I don't know why the room reset. I assume, well, maybe because the door locked, everything behind it unloaded. But now we'll probably get a heart. Oh, a fairy. We've already got a fairy in our bottle, so we don't need that. And she's gone. She's she's back. There we go. Come on, heal me for a heart. There we go. But now we're back here. A couple more pots, I guess, just to kind of stock up on various things. Bombs, rupees. Because now we can push this through. We'll be able to make our way to the boss chamber of Dodongo's Cavern. So yeah, like I said at the start, this was where my runs of the game ended when I was a kid. There are keys around, aren't there? Where my runs ended as a kid, and that was just because of how terrifying this dungeon was. So it was really quite, a cathartic moment when I first completed this. And I think still because of that, I rate this dungeon perhaps more highly than I would otherwise rate it. Because it's got that kind of, nostalgic connection to it. Zelda dungeons, like, a lot of the charm of them and a lot of the theme of Zelda in general, Link's courage, is embodied by dungeons, by leaving the bright, happy overworld and delving into these deep, dark, often terrifying environments. So for me, Dodongo's Cavern was kind of an example of that. Just like Ocarina of Time, as a child, I found it difficult and scary. And then I wasn't yet an adult when I came back and beat it, but I was definitely, a few years older where I came back and played through this dungeon for the first time. So it was kind of, conquering my fears and all that. Wow, I didn't think we'd get a whole dun-dun-dun-dun for that, but apparently that's the first time we've got bombs from a chest. But now we've got 20 of them, and there's a strange spot here on the ground, which we can bomb to reveal the way down to the boss. So if we're ready, let's go fight the boss of Dodongo's Cavern. So, awesome point of view shot here, which the game does quite a few times for boss introductions. We're seeing Link from the boss's eyes, but we don't yet see the boss. Infernal Dinosaur, King Dodongo. So first things first, what does Navi say? King Dodongo, this is a huge Dodongo that eats anything. Give it a shock and finish it off with your sword. So, pretty simple what we do. We wait for it to inhale. Okay, no, you can't do two. But you can, like with the other ones, you can kind of, like with the Armos, you can use the Hylian shield to kind of become invincible and just not get hit by it, which is quite nice. Coming around this way? No, you're rolling again. Yeah, not one of the most difficult bosses in the game, despite me having already been hit. You just wait for him to do the fire breathing. When he inhales, throw a bomb in. Hit him when he comes down. And then not go for a greedy second hit like I did, but then, yeah, just kind of turtle mode, and you're all good. But yeah, despite being the King Dodongo, so it's a huge Dodongo that eats anything it finds, you know, perhaps something that Ganondorf's created or maybe awakened since he's, you know, been here and meddling in Dodongo's Cavern. It's not the biggest Dodongo. We know that there were bigger ones, like the giant dead Dodongo that we made see red with the bombs. But still, you know, despite it being very easy, it's a really cool boss design. Just kind of a huge, spiky Dodongo. And its death animation is so awesome. Where it kind of rolls into this pool of lava in the center of the arena. And, like, fossilizes as the lava cools. And there's a couple, actually, of this this thing happening in Ocarina of Time, where after you defeat the boss, you can still see the remains of the boss. I'm not going to accidentally go into the portal and miss my piece of heart. But yeah, you can see what's left of King Dodongo, you know, his corpse, rising above the stone. That, you know, he's fossilized him, which is cool. But let's grab another heart container. You've collected 2 containers in total. And we'll head into the blue light to end the dungeon. And we're beamed out here, just at the entrance of Dodongo's Cavern. But we're not alone. Darunia drops from the sky, and the Goron City theme kicks in. It's me, Darunia! Well done! Thanks to you, we can once again eat the delicious rocks from the Dodongo's Cavern until our stomachs burst. What a wild adventure. It will make an incredible story. I can't believe that the Dodongos suddenly appeared in such great numbers, and that big rock blocking the cave. All this trouble must have been caused by that Gerudo thief, Ganondorf. He said, "Give me the spiritual stone, only then will I open the cave for you." You, on the other hand, risked your life for us. Kid, I like you. How's about you and I become sworn brothers? No, there's no big ceremony involved. Just take this as a token of our friendship. And we get what we came here to get. The red light's giving it away. The spiritual stone of fire. The Goron's ruby. You obtained the Goron's ruby. This is the spiritual stone of fire passed down by the Gorons. You don't know what he means by sworn brothers, but you've collected 2 spiritual stones. You have only 1 more to find. Brother, you keep brushing up on your skills as you travel, won't you? You should go see the Great Fairy on top of Death Mountain. She will power you up. Hey, everybody, let's see our far brother. More Gorons rain from the sky. You did great. How about a big Goron hug, brother? And we run away screaming. I love the Gorons. They've always been my favourite race in not just in Ocarina of Time, but in Zelda in general. You know, every game they appear in are awesome. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just mashing buttons. Oh, we got a heart back for his fine anyway. What does this Goron say now we've opened Dodongo's cavern? Okay, stop going to sleep. Talk to me. You are incredible, destroying the Dodongos. Do you mind if I call you Big Brother? Nope, I'm fine. That's cool with me. Something we can grab here, actually, now we've got the bombs. If we can kind of not get hit by the Tektites. There we go. Yeah, in every Zelda game, you know, Dodongos have just always been my favourite, and I've kind of always had this kind of little theories, kind of like a pet headcanon, I guess, that the Gorons are Hylia's, or the Golden Goddesses, I guess, perfect people. Because we see throughout the Zelda series... Oh, yeah, no. Actually, this is a weird one. Yeah, before I go into my Goron theory, let me just hit that, and for whatever reason... You can climb this wall. Really weird. I think the 3DS remake kind of fixes that by making it obvious that there's a climbing texture there. But yeah, in the original, you just do that, which is weird. But yeah, every other race or people, I guess perhaps excluding the Hylians themselves, go through evolution throughout the Zelda series. So, you know, Skyward Sword introduces the Perella, who are implied to be the ancestors of the Zora, who have a kind of very strange and convoluted evolution timeline. But then the Gorons don't. The Gorons just remain the Gorons, unchanged throughout the whole thing. The closest you can say to, like, you know, that they've evolved is in Twilight Princess, where there's different Gorons with kind of heated vents on their back and things like that. But yeah, pretty much throughout the whole timeline, they're just the same. I just like to think that the Golden Goddesses made them, and then every time. And we're just like, you know, that's perfect. We don't need to do anything else. Alright, so how do we get this guy without a shield? I don't think I've ever fought this guy before. Can we just shoot him at range, or can we Deku Nut him, perhaps? Yeah, okay, there we go. Deku Nuts always win. I give up 50 rupees for a shield. Okay, so we're paying for the convenience here. Okay, we've got our shield back, but we're definitely paying for the convenience there, because there are only 40 in the Kakiru Forest, but... yeah, we do want our Deku Shield back, and since it got burned by a Keese, and now we're all good. But yeah, like Darunia said, we're not quite yet finished with Death Mountain. We've got to visit the top, where there is a great fairy to see. There's a couple other things we can do. I'm appreciative that this episode is a little bit of a longer one, because I squeezed in the whole of Dodongo's cavern, as well as visiting the mountain for the first time. But still, there are more things we should do here before we call Death Mountain dumb. Let's not get... Okay, even the Hylian Shield doesn't stop us from getting hit by that. I don't actually remember what's in this bombable wall. But yeah, I wanted to get all of Death Mountain and the Goron stuff done all together in this one episode. So yeah, if you'll forgive me... There we go, we got our Deku Shield money back. If you'll forgive me for, you know, a slightly longer episode, then, you know, we can get it all done at once. But this weird ring of stones here... Oh, no. Oh, okay, this is... similar to the big fairy earlier, this is a song location. So we'll have to come back when I've got a specific song. I think this is the Song of Storms. So we'll come back for that in a little bit. But we can head into Goron City, because now we've got the bombs. A couple of extra things we can do that we couldn't do before. So first things first, there is this cave that we visited last time that was full of these big bombable rocks, but we couldn't actually do anything with them. Was it this? No, I've gone the wrong way. It was up at the top. But okay, while we're here, let's stop this mad rolling Goron in the right place, where we have to wait for him to loop around. Just... Oh, can I actually do that? No, there's no way. Just so we can get that upgrade, which I believe, yeah, is a bomb bag upgrade, because why not? And then, like I said, it's up the top. There is an area where we can bomb those boulders to get to the back, just to get another collectible. There's a gold sculpture in there, just to keep on top of them. Then we'll head to the Death Mountain summit, which is really cool. We haven't seen yet in this LP. We haven't been to the very, very peak of Death Mountain. We haven't scaled the mountain properly. We've only been about halfway up, just because we can visit the Great Fairy, a couple other little things to do, and then we'll end this episode back in Kakariko. Have I done that right? I'll drop a contingency bomb here. No, I have done it. We're all good. But yeah, if we stop him in this place... Alright, I'll give you this in praise of your courage. And it is a big bomb bag, which I wonder if that's made from a bigger Goron's intestines or stomach lining or whatever the first bomb bag's made of. Do we get more bombs if we break these? No, just rupees, but, you know, never complaining. Rupees are always good. Okay, so we go left. Okay, and we need to bomb these. Right, yeah, because last time I went across these ropes via the Goron's ruby plinth. So we didn't need the bombs for that, but you do need the bombs regardless for this little section here. So now we can start bombing our way through this maze. So there's the big silver ones we can't bomb. But there's these ones which we can bomb. And I can't remember what the way through this maze is, so I'm just going to be bombing everything as I go. Because we'll be able to get more bombs if we do run out, which hopefully we won't. Can I bomb that one? That's a wit. Let's not be throwing them around, wasting them like that. I think I... No, I can't. That's just a strangely coloured, unbombable one. So this must be the right way. I'm going to say we loop back on ourselves this way. And head through... Let's... I can't see through that. Let's go here. How many bombs have I got? Oh, I don't need to be worried. I'm all good. I'm on 21. We're going bomb mad. So even though I think this is just... Yeah, this is the right way. Cool. So we get a Gossip Stone, 2 chests, where we'll get another 50. Awesome. Navi's wanting our attention as well. Another 50, 100 rupees for that. What do you want, Navi? Darunia said that a fairy lives on top of Death Mountain, didn't he? He did. But we're... Okay, we got Revenge of the Skulltula there. We got attacked as it came out of his box. 25, nice. Can't remember off the top of my head what the thresholds are for the rewards, the House of Skulltula. So since we're going to end this episode in Kakariko, I guess at the start of the next episode, we'll visit this family and see if we've unlocked any more rewards. But that's everything we've got to do in Goron City for now. So let's head up to the very peak of the mountain and end this episode. But actually, before I do that, I've realised I've just missed the most important of the cave paintings, which is this on the wall, where you can see who I think we can assume is King Dodongo, you know, a giant dinosaur-looking thing, breathing fire there, which is so cool, and shows how the kind of the Gorons have, I guess, mythologized almost King Dodongo and the Dodongos in general. Shows just how important they are to their culture. But anyway, now we have one final goal left for this long, bumper-sized episode, which is to get to the peak of Death Mountain. But just before I do that, I did just want to show off this, which is my favourite area in Ocarina of Time, perhaps my favourite area in the Zelda series in general, which is just this little look down at Kakariko Village, especially now at night, when you just see that warm glow from the windows. It just paints such a, you know, beautiful, cozy picture of life in Hyrule. You know, you get Kakariko Village nestled between these tall cliffs on the far side, and Death Mountain here just to the north of it. And even though, yeah, it's just a very simple Nintendo 64 texture, it does so much work. So cozy and peaceful. And as the sun rises, we'll see in a second, the lights will turn off. Just as sun... There we go. Just as day breaks. But yeah, so cool. Yeah, definitely my favourite place in Ocarina of Time, and perhaps in the whole series. What does this sign say? Death Mountain Trail. Okay, well, thank you very much. Actually, I can show off. Now, we've got Zelda's Lullaby. I forgot to do this earlier. If we destroy a sign, with Zelda's Lullaby, we can make sure we've got the ocarina on. If we play Zelda's Lullaby on the ocarina, the sign repairs itself, which is just another cool little detail. You can do that in a few other Zelda games. Makes the most sense, I suppose, in Majora's Mask, where you can use it. You can do that with the Song of Healing, but it also works in the Wind Waker. I'm pretty sure it's the temple songs that do that in that. So what's it? The Earth God's Lyric and Wind God's Aria. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what the word is for that one. But yeah, really cool detail. Oh, I missed the jump there. Yeah, with Hyrule Fields theme blaring. We'll grab our 20 rupees and we'll head to the very top. of Death Mountain. There's a mooing sound here. I wonder what that could be. I wonder why we're hearing mooing on Death Mountain. Shall we find out? Yeah, for whatever reason, there's a cow underground in a cave on Death Mountain. And a lot of rupees, which is nice as well. Some hearts. Good. That'll bring us back to full health. Yep. And, yeah, cow. With a little heart surrounding him. Very strange. Not sure why that is. There's a few grottos that have that have a cow. Yeah, a little bit weird, but that's Zelda for you, isn't it? It's like, as much as it is, you know, the coolest, most epic fantasy in some ways, there are the silly little details to Zelda that, you know, we'd never want to go without. But while I'm talking about getting absolutely destroyed by these volcanic eruptions from Death Mountain, which wasn't very pleasant. Some skull vultures up here, so we'll get rid of those. Is there one higher up? I think there might be. Oh yeah, there's one here. So we've got a pro mode this one. Bam, easy. And this, yeah, this climbable wall has an actual texture. You see there's like handholds and footholds, so it makes sense that Link is able to climb up this. And this is what the 3DS remake added to that one cave with the gold sculpture earlier on. Get past this. So we've got the skull vultures won't charge for Link until they see him, which is something that isn't really used in base Ocarina of Time, so you can just slingshot them. But I think it is in Master Quest. You need to sneak by some that you can't shoot. But yeah, at the top of Death Mountain, here we are. Kaepora obviously behind us, and a view of not a whole lot, just Death Mountain Trail below us as the sun sets. But yeah, there he is. There's a KG, the Rage Cage, standing next to a strange-looking wall. So let's grab our bombs. And we'll throw that there and head in. And see what awaits us in this cave. So in the Sacred Forest Meadow, we found a regular fairy fountain, but this is a Great Fairies Fountain. And it's just gorgeous. You know, obviously, again, a little bit dated N64 textures, but you can see what they're going for. This kind of magical rainfall almost effect on the walls to torches and, yeah, a pool of water in front of us with a Triforce symbol on the ground, which, of course, means... let me just equip that. We need to prove our connection to the Hyrulean royal family, which is kind of our pass for all these sort of things. When you see the Triforce symbol, you know what to do. And this will summon one of the most terrifying things in the Zelda series. A Great Fairy. So the character artist for Ocarina of Time, Hiruhana, this is the Great Fairy of Power. I'll read her dialogue first, actually. I'm going to grant you a sword technique. Receive it now. Yeah, Hiruhana, who's the character designer, obviously designed the Great Fairy, and said that he didn't want to go for just a traditional fairy design. So he said he decided to go a step further than that, a step stranger than traditional fairy. But then he said by the time he'd finished designing it, he felt that he'd gone 3 or 4 steps away from that original design. And that's why you get such an unsettling Great Fairy. But I wouldn't change it for the world, it's so iconic. But we've mastered the secret sword technique of the spin attack. Hold B to charge your weapon, release B to unleash a wave of energy with your spin. And it teaches us about the quick spin attack as well. When you charge power for a spin attack, magic power will be consumed. Pay attention to your green magic meter. Hey, boy, you're a messenger of the royal family, aren't you? Next time you're in their neighborhood, you should drop in on a friend of mine who lives by Hyrule Castle. She'll surely grant you another new power. When battle has made you weary, please come back to see me. Thank you very much. So, yeah, although we could spin attack before, we've now got a magical spin attack. We can charge it up with B as well, which kind of darkens the room around you, which is awesome. So that's obviously Link's trademark move. That's his signature technique. So it's great that the first Great Fairy that we're likely to visit gives us that. I'm just going to run around Kaepora now, because I don't want to... quite intimidating, quite imposing. I don't want to talk to him just yet. I actually want to head down here into Death Mountain Crater. So this is the very summit of Death Mountain. And the heat here is incredibly overwhelming. Link, it's so hot in here, we can't stay in here for long. But I'm here for some treasures. You got a gold Skulltula token, 26. Yeah, I'm here for a couple of things to pick up. I don't want to be in here for long because I don't want to die. So obviously that gold Skulltula there. And if we climb down here, in here, there's another treasure, a piece of heart, which is great. This is another one like the one on top of the Dodongo's Cavern that I believe you're meant to get in a different way. But you know, why not get it now? Get a new. That's 12 in total, which I believe should be a new heart container. Yeah, 12 divisible by 4. Yeah, that should be the third heart container. Either way, let me just check on the pause screen. Yeah, there you go. It was a new heart container. Brilliant. But yeah, let's head out of here before we burn up. We've already got 13 seconds left. That's obviously what the fire tunic's used for in this game, is to be in places like this and survive the heat. But yeah, we can go in there as Child Link for only a very short amount of time. But with all that done, let's talk to Kaepora Gaebora. Or maybe he doesn't talk to you if you get too close. Maybe I have to manually talk to him. There we go. Hoo-hoot! Well, it looks like you've grown up a little from the Great Fairy's power, but you still don't really look like the hero who will save Hyrule, at least not yet. If you're going back down the mountain, I can lend you a wing. Come here and grab my talons, and hold on tight. Hoo-hoot! Well, we are going down the mountain, so... with the Navi's Fairy Flight music right from the beginning playing again, we get another one of these awesome point-of-view 3D environment flying sections. This time, gliding down Death Mountain towards that beautiful Kakariko village. And here we are, we end up on top of Impa's house at the very back of the village. So obviously, yeah, we jumped down off that tower to get to the piece of heart there, but this is the only way to reach this area, this place at the very top. You can only reach it by getting a lift with Kaepora Gaebora. Which is useful because there's something we need to get from up here. But I just really want to quickly show off that if we did jump off, so we accidentally fell off, there's no way to get back up there except for going back up and getting a lift with Kaepora Gaebora. Or, okay, not by pulling a bomb out, by getting our ocarina out, not every other item in our pockets. And if we play the Sun Song, it'll move us back to the point at which we entered the village. Which, of course, in this instance, is on top of the house. So, you know, just a cool little example of how you can use that to your advantage. But I just want to make sure I actually do jump off at the right spot. Yep, to land on this little roof. Now we can enter through this side door in the house to reach the most dangerous prisoner in all of Hyrule, the cow in the cage. And his piece of heart, giving us our 13th piece of heart, which is amazing. Do I have an empty bottle? I don't. Sorry, mate. We're not going to get any milk from you. But yeah, I think stuck in a cage is as good a point as any to end this episode. So again, as always, thank you all so much for watching, for following along with this playthrough of Ocarina of Time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already to this channel, Celtic Plays, for more. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.